Hello, everybody, and welcome to the DECA Dialogues. We're sitting down with members from all around as they share the unique journeys. From first competitions to future careers, hear how DECA is building the leaders of tomorrow today. Get inspired, get connected. This is DECA Dialogues. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to announce our guest a little closer to home today, the Collegiate President of Minnesota DECA. Ladies and gentlemen, Ayush Singh. Ayush, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, Miles. How are you?
I'm doing really great. I'm doing really great. Now, I did kind of give you a little bit of a little explaining your role a little bit, but I would like to ask the question, what's your current position in DECA? What do you do this year? What do you do?
Oh, I always love to talk about DECA.
Yeah,
So
yeah, me
this
too.
year, I'll give a little background first.
Of course.
Last year was my first time going to state,
Okay.
and then at the same time, one of my advisors at the time, she was like, "You should run for the president." I was like, never done that before. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
First time going to the state competition, first time just nominating myself.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but she pushed me. She pushed me to, try harder. I nominated myself, and now I'm serving as a collegiate president for Minnesota Collegiate DECA. Uh, could not be more happy with
Uh,
that. This year we have a lot of goals. We have a wonderful team. Main focus is to advocate for DECA, let people know what DECA is, what we do. I'm a firm believer of, you don't know if the moon shines if you don't know the moon exists. So
mm.
DECA can't
Mm.
help you if you don't know if DECA exists. That was one of the first things that I heard when I first came to UMC. UMC is my college. I go
Mm-hmm.
to University of Minnesota Crookston, giving a little bit
Yes,
more background over there.
absolutely. Absolutely.
And then I first joined DECA when I was a freshman. I'm gonna be honest, putting a plane out there. First year, I was not fully involved with it because I could not fully understand what DECA was. Because I kind
Mm.
of came in middle of the semester,
Yeah.
and then didn't get involved more with what they actually do.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do a couple of mock competitions, but then that was it. The second
Mm-hmm.
year, when we had less members, and then we're like, okay, let me step in. Let me
Mm-hmm.
see what DECA is actually about. And then our advisor at the time, Abilene, said she's been a great support the whole time. She told me what DECA is, and first thing I did, I nominated myself to be the president of a chapter. And then before you know it, I was the president. I had no idea how to run things, but then with great support, it all worked out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely. No, I love that. I think that's I think that's a great way to start it. You're a living, breathing example of that. You don't need to have like done something like this before. You can go in and take that bold step and go outside of your comfort box. I'm assuming that was like, definitely out, at least for me anyways, I would assume that would be out of my comfort box too. First
oh yeah.
first year of DECA, like, oh, I'm all of a sudden I'm running for the state president of it now. What's kind of going on here? I love that. I love that. That's a bold action. That's inspiring, really. That's inspiring. I'm glad that she pushed you to do that because you guys have been doing some excellent work. I've been staying tuned, and it's wonderful. I'm excited to see what progresses and how we go on further, especially the state conference too. I'm
Oh
looking
yeah.
forward to that as well. That's going to be awesome. Now, I like to ask, how's it going for you so far? You're a couple weeks, couple months into it. How's it going so far? What do you like? What are some of the positives or some of the maybe some of the negatives that you have too? Just how's that experience?
As the collegiate president for Minnesota Collegiate DECA, I would say things are great. We kind of started in February, but did not
Hmm.
get into the role
Hmm.
until later in the summer. Our first retreat, I like to call it retreat, but it's actually the training sessions
Hmm.
because I had fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it was in Wilmer. It was me and our other officers. We went there with Jenny. We had
Hmm.
other members of the board there as well. Um, it was 2 days of training, super fun. They t tell
Hmm.
us about everything that goes behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Which is one of the perks of being the officer in the officer team. You get to know
Hmm.
everything that's going on.
Yep, yep.
Um, so that was like actually the first step into it. We were creating social media posts before it. We were advocating for DECA as well.
Hmm.
But within that training, we created a program of work, like how we want to do what we want to do. Uh, and then once we had that done, our goals were set up for the whole year. We started with that. And then first board meeting, I get to present that to the whole board. And that was nerve-wracking, but it
Yeah,
worked
I
out.
bet. I bet.
Yeah. So in all things, it's been positive, nothing negative so far.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
good.
anticipate anything negative happening because we kind of foresee everything that's going on.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, I think that's that's great that you talked about there. I love what you really mentioned about the goals. I think that's such a great thing that you took the time to to write those down, to actually take the time to be like, okay, what are our goals this year? Because I know commonly, at least for me, and just in a personal everyday life, sometimes we forget about the goals, right? And the goals, they're important, right? They help you keep on track to like a blueprint, if you will, kind of a canvas, so to speak, where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is something that we can shoot for. This is a feasible goal. It's a SMART goal. If that's a familiar term, that kind of comes the SMART goals, if you will, right? It's not bad. I like it. I like it. Now, another question that I would have for you is kind of backtracking here a little bit. Um, how did you get into DECA? Like how did you get into that first year? What pushed you to finally be like, yeah, let's do it?
I think 90% of the DECA members answer the same question. I think you know where I'm
Yeah,
going with.
I know. Yeah, yeah,
We did not like go into DECA thinking, oh, it's DECA.
yeah.
Because either somebody refer us into going to the first meeting, or you see them at an involvement expo where clubs and organizations represent
Mhm,
themselves. Uh, and then you're like, oh, let's give it a shot. And my personal experience was our advisor at the time, Abby. She was like, "Oh, you're in business major, and you've been doing pretty good. Why not give it a shot? Come to one of the meetings." And then I went to the first meeting. Well, my first meeting, it was a couple of meetings already into the semester.
mhm.
And then I see everybody like super professional, and they're having fun. I'm like, "Ooh, this is way out of my league," you know. And then within the first couple of introductions, they're like, "Oh, well, I can do it."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then that's how I got into DECA. And then, as I said, the first year was on and off. But the second year, when I actually was more active with it, then I could understand what was actually going on. Going back to the same phrase, you can't tell the
Mhm.
moon shines if you don't know the moon exists.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
you gotta see all the spheres of DECA to get into it properly.
No, I like what you mentioned there, and I completely agree. It's that leap toward the opportunity, if you will. It's seizing it. It's taking that step where it's finally like, okay, let's just do it and give it a try. Because it's hard and you'll find this out if you ever try to explain what DECA is to somebody. Good luck trying to fit what DECA is into an elevator pitch, right? 30
Oh,
seconds to explain. I mean, chalk it up as one of the most impossible tasks, right? I mean, how do you cram everything that it does into 30 seconds before they're gone, right? Like that
right.
is and like you said, it's just that leap. It's just that, let's give it a shot. Let's roll the dice and see what it is. And most commonly, when you roll the dice to become a DECA member, you're gonna land on doubles and it's gonna pay off in the future. I tell you what. I tell you what. Speaking of future, Ayush, kind of a smooth transition here, if I may. What are you studying? What are your future goals or aspirations that you'd like to see out of your life?
So when I first came here, by the way, more background story. I'm originally from New Delhi, India,
Okay.
so far, far away, and currently in Crookston,
Hmm.
University of Minnesota, Crookston,
Hmm.
studying international business and IT management. So it's a double major,
Oh, fun.
uh, kind of getting the best of the both worlds, getting into the
Hmm.
IT at the same time, the business.
Hmm.
That's always been I was in high school. Obviously, I was a kid. It didn't go very well, but that was a learning curve. Currently, if you ask me what I'm going to do in 5 years from now, I don't specifically have a definite answer, but I
Okay.
can definitely tell you what I'm be working towards. Uh, I do run a small startup on the side, which is in edtech industry. We're kind of leaning into the Web3, going into making certifications for all educators and
Oh, fun.
I might say students, but not exactly students in a traditional sense.
Hmm.
They get free certification from Web3.
Hmm.
Main goal of that is that you cannot forge it. It's a
Hmm.
certificate that is given to you, and then if you show that, you have a higher credibility than any other platform.
Hmm. I
So,
love that. I love that. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. And how would you say DECA has helped give you the tools that you feel to give yourself the tools to feel more confident, so to speak, or be like, this is reaffirming that it's like, this is something that I like. Like you said, starting that startup, getting that extra experience in there too. How would you credit DECA toward that, if you would at all?
oh, I would give DECA a huge chunk of my credit because first biggest resource that is ever available to any humankind is people.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
with DECA comes in with DECA comes in the networking events. I remember going to the first Leadership and Innovation Summit last
Hell
year.
yeah. Yep. Yep.
I'm not sure if you were there. I'm pretty sure you were there as well.
I was last year. I was there. I was that was that
Yeah.
was that gosh, was it Redwood Falls or was that no that
Yep.
red
Yep.
it was well, okay, it was Redwood. Yep.
River
Yep.
Falls.
Yep. That was
And
fun.
then my first ever DECA anything outside of my school. And I go there and then one of the panelists, I'm kind of forgetting his name right now, but he spoke about something so extraordinary, like how he, had so many things in his life and how he overcome all that. And
Hmm.
then he had his own one-on-one session too.
Hmm.
Jake Ward.
Jake. Oh, I remember Jake. Oh my gosh, I love Jake. Yes. Yes. I know
Uh,
exactly. Yep. Yep.
I think you know what I'm talking about when
Yep.
he said all about his life story. I was like, damn, like
Yeah.
that is all possible.
Yeah.
Uh, and then during one of his sessions, I took his business card. Did not really expect anything in return. Like,
Hmm.
oh, he will respond back. Like, we'll be
Right.
friends.
Right.
But a few days down the line, Abby, advisor at the time, she was like, "Have you reached out to Jake yet?" I'm like, "I have not, because not really sure like what to say in the
Hmm.
email yet."
Yeah.
But then she was like, "Doesn't hurt to try. What's the worst that could happen?"
That's
Like, well,
true. That
fair
is
enough.
true. Good
And
point.
then uh, sent him an email, and he remembered. He was like, "I know you because when I was there at his session, we talked about my book,
Oh yeah.
another backstory. When I was in high school, I wrote a book.
Oh
It's on
my
the
gosh, Ayush. That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. Oh my gosh. What was it
So
about?
we talked about huh?
What did you write the book about? What was it about?
It's called the A Wise Strategist. It's a little bit in business side, but more of a psychology of the business.
Okay.
Uh,
Wow. We got an
and then
author. We got an author on the show. That's
now you
awesome.
do, yeah.
That's awesome, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was like, whoa, that's
No, no,
really
no,
cool.
no.
That's really cool. I continue.
So we talked about that, and then Jake was like, "Oh, tell me more about the book later on." When we were in the session, and then I mentioned that in the email as well. He was like, "Yep, I remember you." And we hopped on a call. I told him a little bit about the idea that I had about my startup, and he was like, "Oh, that's a really good idea, but." And he told me everything that I need to focus on first before I, go to jump on a big idea.
I love that.
I was like, "You're right."
Yep.
If I would have just got into it right now, I probably would have done it for 3 days and then see how it's going and like, okay, it's not going to work out.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
then he told me baby steps. He told me how if he was in my shoes, he would do it.
Hmm.
I was like, this is nice. And he gave me his contact number. I kind of have him as my mentor as of
Yeah.
now.
I
And
love
then we
that.
go back and forth.
I love
Uh,
that.
so going back to the question, one of the biggest things that has given me is the network of people that I'm connected to.
Hmm.
Uh, not just Jay. And each one of them has succeeded so much in life, and they have so much to offer.
Hmm.
Even not just like advice towards your career, but personal advices too. They're always there for you. Uh, I think DECA usually has an impact on you. Like once you're in it for a longer period of time, you're like, okay, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stick with it. Even if you're not in college anymore, you're graduated. You're maybe into the industry for 10 years from now, but you'll still look back and like, okay, that has given me that much. Let's give back a little bit more.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Ayush. I think those are some wonderful points that you made. Those are some wonderful points that you made. And I love that you took the route of networking, so to speak. I love that. And there's a quote that I know, it's one of my favorite quotes. It's that your net worth is directly correlated to your network. And I think that's such a true statement because at the end of the day, it's who you know, right? Who do you what are your connections, right? Who do you got? Who do you got in your phone? Who do you got that you can call up and talk to? And who can you communicate with, right? Like if you had the ability to network with people, I mean, that is just going to go so far. And I feel like DECA, for me at least, has given tools that have like been like, okay, I can confidently go up to some random person and just be like, hey, what's up? Strike a conversation, right? What me in middle school though, it would have been a little bit harder, right? I would have been kind of a little bit more shy, a little bit more like, I don't know, I don't know. But now it's just like let's do it, let's get after it, get after it with confidence. And that's, I credit DECA to that. I credit DECA to that. Yeah. Now, Ayush, I do believe we're running close to our time here, but is there anything else that you would like to mention at all? Anything else that you would like to say to tell the people at all? The floor is yours, man. Any other questions that you'd like to ask or anything? You fire away, fire away.
Oh, well, wonderful. I love the open-ended questions. I'm gonna keep it under the time though, but
Okay.
one of the first things that I tell people, if you're not unsure about something, don't just shy away.
Mhm.
Uh, first impression of me, like first impression of DECA for me was like, oh, it's too big.
Mm.
Like, if I go in, would I be able to make something for myself? Would I be able to, be stand out amongst the crowd? But once you actually go in, you can tell like everybody is unique. Everybody has their own things that they can shine that they get shined upon. Uh, so don't shy away. Give anything and everything a shot.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like is my internet still going okay?
I think you're good. I think you're good, man.
Okay, yeah, that's one piece of advice. Like,
I love
huh?
that. I love that. Absolutely. No, I completely agree with you there. I completely agree with you. That's a crisp perspective that you have there. That's wonderful. Wonderful insight. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Miles.
Well, folks, I think that's all we have for today. It's such an honor to talk to the president of Minnesota Collegiate DECA. This one was a little bit more special to me, so to speak. It's a little more closer to home, if you say a little bit more closer to home, right? It's good to good to get a little networking close too. You can network on an international level, a state level, even a local level, just showing that the possibilities are endless. And like Ayush mentioned too, not only can you network with members in DECA, but also you can network with industry professionals outside of DECA too. That example with Jake Ward, beautiful example, absolutely, right? It opens up a door to many opportunities. And Ayush, I appreciate your perspective on a lot of them. And it's fun to hear the story, how you got into it, man. That's awesome. I mean, you're a bold example of taking that step, taking that opportunity. And I appreciate that. I appreciate it. It's lighting
Who
a
are you,
fire.
Miles?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's lighting a fire in me, man. It's lighting a fire in me. I love it. I love
Oh,
it.
kind.
Well, thank you so much,
I do
folks.
I do have to say before we end the call, this
Absolutely.
is this is one of the greatest things about these episodes that you've been doing. I watched the one with Samir, I watched the one with Peyton as well. Great content. Keep doing it, keep crushing it. Uh, I think you'll be the reason most of the people come to DECA and they get to know about it.
Wow.
Thank you.
I don't take that lightly, man. That's truly, that means a lot. Thank you so much.
I do remember meeting you for the first time in state last year.
Hmm.
Uh, you had
Hmm.
your colorful coat on, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody showed me a YouTube video of you. Like, there he is.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. That brings joy, genuine joy to me. Thank you so much. I That's a high note. That's a high note, folks. I love to end it on there. I'm beaming right now. It's such a fun time. Please share this with your friends, share this with your other members, your family, your second roommate's wife's cousin, whoever, your dog, right? Just whoever. Like. comment, repost. And this is the DECA Dialogues. Stay tuned, folks. We got more people coming. And if you want to be on, DM me. Let's get you on. Let's chat. I mean, let's blow this thing up, right? That's awesome. Well, thank you again so much, Ayush. And from both me and Ayush, we wish you all a wonderful night.